Hello everyone, I'm a teacher of Bukhara State University, Today I am going to conduct the grammar lesson. The same is devoted to the nouns. Today we are going to differentiate countable and uncountable nouns. First of all, we should define what is a noun itself, when and where we can use it. The noun that we can use with the person, with a place, animal and things. Well, we cannot say the noun itself if there is an action, that if it is a description, that if it is prepositions. That's why let's do that. First of all, let's say that underline. We are going to underline the nouns from these sentences. That, for example, Canada is a large country. That Canada, you see that Canada is, as we mentioned, it is a place. That's why we can say it is a noun. Canada is a large country. You see that large. That what kind of large? It is an adjective that we do description. That it is description. That's why we cannot say that it is noun. That Canada is a large country. You see that country is again the place. That's why we can say that it is a noun again. That my teacher is funny. That my teacher, the teacher is a person. That's why we should underline these words too. Teacher is a person. My teacher is funny. That what kind of person? That funny. Again, you see it is description. That's why we cannot say that it is a noun. The another example is dogs and cats are friends. Dogs and cats, as we know, they are animals. That's why you see that it is nouns. That they are nouns. Dogs and cats, they are friends. The word friends is, you see that it is the person. The personality, or the dogs and cats, they are friends, they are noun itself. You see that, as I mentioned before, that there are two types of the nouns. Let's differentiate them. They are countable and uncountable nouns. Let's define them. What is a countable nouns? Why it calls countable? That you see that it is inside, explain as it countable, that if we can count the nouns, that it is countable. We can say 1, 2, 3, that we can count it. That's why it's countable noun. Before that countable nouns, we should use the articles like a or an, that it means one something. For example, a dog, an apple. That you know that it's either choosing that a or an. It depends on from which letter it is starting. For example, the dog is a consonant letter. That's why we should put a. That a, it is a vowel letter. That's why we should use n. Did you see that there are 5 vowels? They are a, that o, u, e, r. They are 5. That before these letters we should use a. You see that mostly the countable noun, they are often can be counted. For example, that I have a book. You see, a. What does it mean? A book? Yes, you are right. It is one. That I have a book, it means I have one book. That I have 2 books. You see that it means that I have more than one. That I have 2 books. That's why we should add an ending s. That we can add either s or es. Again, it is depends on in which letter the word is ending. That we need s or es if more than one thing. You see that every language likes some exceptions. That English language also likes some exceptions. There are some exceptions like fish, like ship, like moose, deer, and so on. There are some words which should be written in this form, both in singular and plural form. That it means you should say 1 fish, 2 fish, not fish, or 1 sheep, 10 sheep, not ships. You see, there are some exceptions. Let's define uncountable nouns. What does it mean uncountable nouns? If the countable nouns is countable, which we can count, uncountable, it means we cannot count. it should be maybe something small thing or something a lot of many things. You see that we cannot use we don't use er or n with uncountable nouns. Why? Yes, you are right, because we cannot count them. We cannot put non-numbers before the uncountable nouns. We don't add s or es. Why? Because it is again, it's not more that we cannot add s or es. That often can't count. For example, we cannot count that uncountable nouns. For example, can you count happiness? Can we say I have one happiness or two happiness or three? No, we cannot count them. That, for example, love, can we count them? No, that's why they are uncountable nouns. There are some categories, the words in uncountable that we cannot count. For example, the word furniture. You see, the furniture is uncountable noun, but which is included in the furniture, for example, table or the chair, we can count them. But the word furniture, we cannot count. For example, you can say that I have a lot of furniture. You see, there is a no that exactly that how many, we cannot count them. But if you say that I have, for example, 10 chairs or 2 tables, that you see that it means we can count them. But the word itself, furniture, we cannot count. The same thing with the word clothes. We cannot count the word clothes itself, but we can count there which is included in it. For example, I have 2 skirts, that I have 4 blouses or 6 shirts. You see that we can count them, but clothes itself we cannot. The money, that you see, we cannot put either er or n or them. You see the money. It is again the word which we cannot count, but the currency we can count. We can say that money or the money, but we can count the currency itself. For example, you can say I have the $2. We can say $2, but we cannot say I have 2 monies. You see that again with the food and drink, we cannot say milk, we cannot count it, but we can say a bottle of milk. Or the mustard, we can say that, for example, a bottle of mustard or juice. Again, the word itself, that we should say that a bottle of juice, a cup of juice, but we cannot say 2 juices or 10 juices. Now we'll see the usage of countable and uncountable nouns in the sentence, that how to use grammatically the countable or uncountable nouns, or with other words we can say count or non-count nouns. Okay, let's see. First of all, there are some words that, for example, the word chair is countable. As we can say that, as we can count it, we can put before it some numbers. We can say chair or chairs, table, tables, book, books, shop or 2 shops, marker, markers, shirt and shirts. That all of them here are countable nouns. That in the second column you can see that uncountable nouns. They are for example, sugar, we cannot count them. That furniture, that equipment, that information, advice and rain and so on. There are a lot of that we cannot put numbers that before these nouns. That's why they are non-countable nouns. The usage of their articles, or the usage of how to count them, that in order to count countable nouns we can use some here verbs. For example, we can use a. For example, we can say a chair if there is 1 chair, or we can say many chairs, that if there is countable noun, or few tables, a few shops. They are the list of the words which we can use before the countable nouns. You can see that here with uncountable nouns, before uncountable nouns we can use much. For example, much advice, or a little rain, that a little bit of information, that here are the list of the words which that we can use before the uncountable nouns. But unfortunately some students make some mistakes in order to choose, in order to differentiate either the word is countable or uncountable. And here are some tricks that you can use the this column that before both uncountable and countable nouns. For example, you can say at the same time the, you can use the chair or the chairs or the sugar. For example, some furniture with uncountable or some tables. You can use both with countable or uncountable nouns. Or you can say any. That, do you have any books, for example, or can you give me any information about this word? Or no, I have no idea. For example, I have no advice to you, or no markers. That a lot of, I have a lot of markers that in my house that there are, or that there are a lot of furniture that at home. You see, you can see here lots of, enough, plenty of, with both countable and uncountable nouns. If you want to practice on this same, you can download the same itself from the official website of Bukhara State University from the Moodle platform. And good luck to your English. Bye.